This is a Goodman's SCD 100, actually built by Nakamichi. Quite a highly regarded deck by a lot of people, but all the experience I've had with these things is there have been nothing but problems with their transport, and by which I mean unreliable speed control and also problems with tape paths and things like that not picking up. And this one's has the same problem, and this has been kicking around in the workshop for probably quite a few years in the workshop now. I bought this secondhand on eBay when I just opened the workshop up and started tinkering around with it. I think there might be an early video where I'm doing a bit of work on one. I've just dug this out this evening just to see if it still worked, and what it was doing was it was a normal thing as wow and flutter. So I've stripped all the gearbox and the gearbox, all the transport down, and replaced all the grease in all the bearings. Now, it's quite a nicely made piece of gear, obviously built by Nakamichi, but it's quite elaborate speed control. And I finally found where the speed control is, and it's right at the back of the unit here, underneath this counter board and memory circuit. And you can see I've got the little pot adjustment in the back. Now the plan is, now I've stripped it all down and cleaned all the belts and everything, it's all running at the wrong speed. So what I'm going to do, a quick and rough and ready way of doing it, is to set the frequency with a beat, beating against a known reference. I've got my test tape in here that was recorded at 1 kHz, so it's got an accurate 1 kHz tone on it, and I'm taking the signal from the Roden Shorts audio signal generator and feeding that into my left input of my amplifier, and the right input of my amplifier, and the cassette deck's feeding the left amplifier channel. And what I plan to do, I mean, I could mono it, but I haven't got a mono button on the Technics amplifier. I'm just going to listen between the two, and you should hopefully, the plan is that you'll hear the beat between the two. Now the only thing I'm a bit concerned is because of the automatic level control on the phone I'm using, you might not hear it, but this is just another way of setting tape speeds. It's probably a bit easier for someone if they have got even a mobile phone now. You can get apps that will generate a set tone. So all you need to do is record a cassette through your mobile phone. Use the same mobile phone. Use the same app. Record a 1 kHz tone on a known good cassette deck, and use that cassette tape to play back on the deck you want to adjust. So I'm going to give this a demonstration. Hopefully you'll hear. So we're listening for 0 beat, basically when the two phases come together and aren't shifting in or out of phase. So I press play on here. I'm going to adjust the control. I'll sit down. I'm trying to get the best position for the microphones. I don't know if you can hear there, but there's a sort of there's a 1 kHz tone and like a warble in the background. It's moving further and further away. I can hear the left channel going lower frequency. We've got a beat now of about 3 Hz. Still beating very slowly. You hear that effect? Gone too far, too fast now. Too slow, it's very jumpy. There we go. It's as good as you're going to get it. And you hear the 0 beat. So that's another way of setting a cassette deck speed, and probably the easiest one. A lot of people say, well, who's going to have a signal frequency counter? Well, absolutely true, but this is an easier way of doing it and may be helpful for some people.